Think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything they have said.
The situation on The View is total chaos, and for good reason. Caroline Leavitt, the young, sharp, and outspoken conservative, just revealed a huge legal surprise that has ABC executives desperately trying to handle the fallout.
Facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Caroline, thank you very much for your time. That was so good.
These women are completely out of touch with reality, and you're right.
Crazy part. She didn't even appear on The View to do it, despite another offensive, out-of-touch attack from Whoopi Goldberg. Joy Behar and Sunny Haytin, Caroline didn't just respond, she went all out.
Expose the fake news when they are fake. We will hold them accountable for their lies and smears of President Trump. I can also assure the American people that they are going to be hearing directly from the leader of the free world. And the press likes to hear that too. That's something that is not happening.
Clash is so intense that rumors are spreading, and ABC is secretly trying to manage the situation.
President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies that they have spewed. These women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're right, ABC should wake up. They just paid $15 million to President Trump's future library. That's a great thing for the American
Are reportedly panicking, hoping she'll back down before it's too late. They're scrambling to control the fallout and save their reputation, but honestly, this situation seems impossible to fix.
Listen, if you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they
did Caroline say that made Whoopi completely lose it, had Joy Behar visibly shaken, and left Sunny Hostin speechless for the first time.
You know, ABC having just paid $15 million for a defamation lawsuit would think not to engage in conspiracy theories about assassination attempts, but I guess that's too much to ask from The View. I mean, I gotta ask you, because they said it, are you aware of any plots from Elon Musk to push President Trump down the stairs?
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear.
Jump into this wild drama, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more uncensored, no B updates. Trust me. This is only
that the media will focus on the issues that matter to the American people, the issues that led them to vote in a resounding way for President Trump on November the 5th. That's what President Trump is focused on more so than ever. We have an array of executive action that will be rolled out on day one to change the lives of the American people.
Stage. The View thought they could take a shot at Caroline Leavitt and get away with it. Huge mistake. On a recent episode, the hosts of The View went completely off the rails, attacking Caroline just because she's a young, successful, conservative woman. Joy Behar, with her trademark smugness, dismissed Caroline's intelligence, experience, and political skills. In Joy's eyes, there was only one reason Caroline had gotten ahead. According to her, Caroline was hired just because she's attractive to Trump. That's right. Joy reduced all of Caroline's hard work to just her looks. Then, Whoopi Goldberg, never one to let logic get in the way of a good rant, jumped in with her usual self-righteous tone. Whoopi claimed Caroline wouldn't even have a job if it weren't for wokeness. She said, "Yeah, I would like this young lady. This is her first job. I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off, and that was she said, there will be no wokeness here." Whoopi continued her rant, saying, "Oh yeah, let me explain something to you. Without that wokeness, you might not even have that job, because women weren't allowed at the table. Women weren't invited to many tables in this country." It was shocking how hypocritical it was. These same women who claim to champion young professionals, especially young women, had just publicly dismissed Caroline's entire career simply because they disagreed with her politics. And Caroline wasn't going to just let that slide. She reminded them that the reason they fought so hard in the past was to make sure that young women today wouldn't have to face this kind of disrespect. But Whoopi wasn't finished. She continued to talk about wokeness, claiming it was needed because black people couldn't get into colleges and women couldn't access the same opportunities as men. She was speaking passionately, as if educating Caroline on history, even though Caroline clearly knew all of this already. This isn't just about black or Asian people, it's about all women, Whoopi declared, insisting that women had to fight for a place in a world that was originally designed for men. The hypocrisy in Whoopi's words was undeniable, and commentators quickly called it out. Many laughed at the irony of Whoopi essentially mansplaining the press secretary job to Caroline. It seemed like Whoopi made everything about race, as if that somehow justified belittling Caroline's career. But Caroline wasn't having it. She didn't just ignore the attacks, she hit back hard. In a sharp, powerful response, Caroline said, "Please, his opponents are still using the same rhetoric that led to those 2 attempts on President Trump's life. They're claiming Trump is a threat to democracy, and if you're mentally unwell, you'll believe those lies and act on them, like we've seen twice against Trump." Her voice was firm, her facts irrefutable, and she didn't hold back. Caroline didn't stop there. She went further. Last week, Tim Walz and Kamala Harris claimed that everyone who attended President Trump's rally in Madison Square Garden was a threat. Before she could continue, the network cut the broadcast. But by then, it was too late. Caroline's words were like a bombshell. That's despicable, dangerous, divisive rhetoric that the Democrat Party pushes every single day. I'm tired of the media blaming Trump for dividing this country. He's not the one dividing us. The media is. They spread hoaxes, twist narratives, and push misinformation to fit their own agenda. The Democrat Party is just as guilty of lying, fear-mongering, and painting millions of Americans as threats. Then Caroline dropped the bombshell everyone was waiting for. The good news is Americans aren't buying it. Trump is more popular today than he's been since 2016 because people no longer trust the media. The audience fell silent. The hosts of The View were completely unprepared for such an unapologetic, direct pushback. In a viral video that quickly gained traction, Caroline exposed The View for what it really was: a group of out-of-touch individuals who claimed to support women, but only if those women agreed with their narrative. Caroline didn't hold back, calling out Joy Behar as the perfect example of modern feminism. She preaches empowerment for women, but only for women. Who fit her narrative? It's disgusting. Then Caroline turned her attention to Whoopi, calling out her hypocrisy directly. Caroline's response was devastating. Whoopi's comment about needing wokeness to have a job was ripe for a takedown, and Caroline didn't hesitate. She pointed out the irony of The View's entire panel being made up of DEI hires and unqualified hosts, including Sunny Hostin, who suddenly wanted to talk about privilege. Caroline wasn't done yet. She dropped the hammer, saying, "The View doesn't want strong women, they want obedient women. I refuse to play their game." Boom. That was the moment everything shifted. Within minutes, Caroline's video went viral. The hashtags #GCancelTheView and #CarolineLevitt-OwnsTheView took over social media, dominating Twitter, Instagram, and even Facebook. What was supposed to be a simple smear job on Caroline turned into one of the biggest PR wins of her career, and the consequences for The View were immediate. ABC found itself in crisis mode. Executives were scrambling behind the scenes, and producers were furious that what should have been a simple attack on Caroline spiraled into a full-blown PR disaster. Leaked reports suggested that some ABC execs were now questioning whether the likes of Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg were more of a liability than an asset for the network. The situation had gotten so bad that the question was being asked, how many scandals could ABC endure before The View became a sinking ship? To make matters worse, sponsors were reportedly pulling away. Brands that once aligned themselves with The View were now reconsidering their associations, realizing that the show's toxic and divisive image could damage their own reputations. ABC was now facing a very real dilemma. The backlash was so intense that even The View's once loyal viewers were starting to turn on the show. What had been a platform for controversy and heated debates was now teetering on the brink of irrelevance. The question remained, would ABC cut ties and attempt to salvage what was left of The View's reputation, or would they double down? Risking a total collapse? The network's next move would determine whether the show could survive or whether this scandal would be the final nail in its coffin. It's clear that The View has built its brand on controversy and pushing boundaries, but as we're seeing now, there's a fine line between drawing attention and alienating audiences. The backlash from this Caroline Leavitt situation has reached a point where it's starting to outweigh the attention the show has been riding on. When the very foundation of a show's appeal becomes a liability, when the backlash starts overshadowing the ratings boost, it's a real moment of reckoning for a network. As for the question of whether Caroline Leavitt's lawsuit is a wake-up call for the media, it's hard to deny the larger implications.